The Accent on Air has your official 2020 Parish Fish Fry Guide, plus the Lenten dinner feature that brings in the dough for a local parish. Then a story about prayer during Lent, the Christian season of repentance, a sort of spring cleaning for our lives. And Bishop Malesic on his trip to meet with Pope Francis. It's been 5 years since the Pope wrote his landmark letter about caring for planet Earth. We'll show you how the smallest Catholics have been inspired to make a big difference. I'm Jennifer Mealy, and welcome to the Accent on Air. Today we're talking about Lent and how it invites us to create a more just world by giving of ourselves, whether it be some of our time, some of our talents, or even some of our treasures to do God's work. During the 40 days of Lent, as we prepare for Easter and the resurrection of Christ, it's good to remember the pillars of Lent.
The three pillars of Lent are prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. All three of them help us in the short term to prepare for Easter, but in the long term to prepare for responding to whatever life puts in front of us in a way that at the end of our days we will be ready to meet the Lord and to give an accounting of ourselves. The first pillar, prayer, is often misunderstood. Many people say that we pray to change God's mind. Actually, prayer is the lifting of the mind and the heart up to God. Prayer is far more about changing ourselves and opening ourselves up to God's will. When we pray, we allow God to lead us. What is fasting? A lot of times it's related to food, and traditionally people have given up chocolate or bakery goods. Sometimes people give up things that are important to them, or at least fill a good part of their time, like maybe watching TV. Whatever it is, the importance of fasting is to realize that we don't have to constantly work to fill ourselves up if we allow God to do that. Almsgiving is about supporting the works of the Lord. And as Managing Director of Catholic Charities, it comes to my mind that it is about taking what we have and sharing it with those who have less. We become that presence of God to each other when we seek somebody out or when somebody seeks us out to help them. As I said as we began, the season of Lent gets us ready for Easter Sunday, but the bigger picture is it gets us ready to respond to the world as God has called us to respond, and to answer that last question at the end of our days: what did you do for my brothers and my sisters?
Bishop Malesic is back from Rome, and his first ad limina. In Latin, that means to the threshold of the apostles. It's a reference to a pilgrimage to the tombs of the apostles Peter and Paul at the Vatican. You had a wonderful chance to meet with the Pope. Why don't you tell us about your trip?
This is my first ad limina visit, and it is required that bishops regularly go, every several years, go to Rome to pray at the tombs of Peter and Paul, to visit the offices of the Holy See, but also then the opportunity is to visit with the Holy Father, which was an experience that far exceeded my expectations. And the Pope said to us, I would like to have a conversation with you. I would like it to be honest and open. Feel free to bring up anything you would like. You can comment, you can ask a question, you can criticize if you want to. He said, this is a time for brothers to be together.
What did you specifically talk about?
I specifically said to the Holy Father that, we certainly are trying to deal with the problems of the church today, and that includes the sex abuse crisis. But I think we have to look 10 years down the road as well, when the number of people in the pews is going to decline in the Diocese of Greensburg, and when the number of priests in the Diocese of Greensburg is going to decline. And how do we now look to evangelize the world, our diocese, so that in 10 years from now we have people who want to be in those pews, and we have men who want to be priests.
And did he have any feedback?
Yeah, his feedback was, very wise. He said, we have to have patience. What we do now is plant seeds. So in other words, he's saying, keep on doing the work you're doing. Keep on preaching the gospel. Keep on doing the sacraments well. Those are seeds. And then trust that the Lord will bring them to fruition.
So I think a lot of people now, their connection with the Pope is through social media, through Vatican News, becoming a very different communication mechanism from Rome.
Right. One of the newest offices in Rome that the Pope formed was the Dicastery on Communication, which I was able to meet with. And like us, they're trying to determine how best to communicate the message of the Church, the message of Jesus, to the world.
We have to ask, it is an episode about food. Did you have anything good while you were in Rome?
Absolutely. The pasta, I did eat pasta, and pasta's been off my diet for a while, so I broke my diet and I ate a lot of pasta. Carbonara, metriciana. The Romans just make the best pasta.
They do.
They do.
And here we are now, find ourselves in Lent. You always tell us that fasting is more than just about not eating chocolate for dessert.
Right, fasting is a way of giving up those things that keep us from moving forward with the Lord. The best fast that we can make is the fast from sin, almost the fasting from self, so that we can give to the other.
Soon, hundreds of people will be gathered in parish halls for fellowship and fish. Here's John Zilka with the official Diocese of Greensburg 2020 Lenten Fish Fry Guide.
A lot more than fish frying happens in parish hall kitchens like this. Wait until you see what else they're cooking up.
We sell pierogies, we sell cabbage and noodles, mac and cheese, green beans, but the fried fish is the best seller. I happen to be a CPA who is very busy right now with tax season, but I give every Friday up for my church to help because it's the right thing to do to help my parish.
The spirit of Lent is kind of telling us that we really have to make some sacrifices because we're one with Jesus, who is doing his sacrifice too.
Fridays are a time for faith, fellowship, and fish in parishes across the Diocese of Greensburg. But these Lenten dinners are also a way for parishes to raise funds to support their ministries.
It's just something, people love our fish, and so the money's nice, but it's just not about the money. It's about what we can provide to the community.
We think of the fish fries as being opportunities for people to come together to volunteer and to build community, but also it's a magnificent opportunity for us to profess and celebrate our Catholic identity.
I think that the greatest benefit from it is the fact that all the parish personnel get together and work so wonderfully together and cooperate.
And I've been so blessed of having them and working with them because all our parishioners are hard workers.
Yes, I agree.
And I think that's what fish fries are all about, when people come and talk about Lent and talk and share with the faith experiences they had.
Very good.
The official Diocese of Greensburg 2020 Fish Fry Guide is available now at theaccentonline.org.
The Diocese of Greensburg has its own way of celebrating the anniversaries of Laudato Si and Earth Day. I'm Jordan Wyko. Find out why young Catholics are so energized about Energy Smart 2020.
Watch out, fish fries. Here come cheese ravioli. I'm Robin Maul with the change-up dish for Friday fish.
Let's turn your home into something really cool, like a dream vacation or a new addition, or both. Let's make it easy by putting a great rate on a home equity line of credit. Let's get started, online or at your local First National Bank branch.
Adelphi is a great place to build career skills. While working at Adelphi, you'll learn how to work with people, manage youth behaviors, and develop communication skills while receiving valuable training and professional development that can advance your career. Adelphi has programs in over 30 counties in Pennsylvania, including residential group homes, foster and adoptive care, education services, and in-home treatment options. If you'd like to be the difference in a child's life, apply today at adelphi.org or call 724-804-7117.
It's time to visit a Catholic school in the Diocese of Greensburg because it's time for your student to shine.
In our schools, we begin each day with prayer.
Like little tree detectives.
It's all about the students. They're the ones who shine.
It's time for me to shine.
More than $1 million in financial aid is available for private Catholic education in our diocese. Visit CatholicSchoolsGuide.org. Time for your student to
shine.
Ford Business Machines technicians are never satisfied with anything less than perfection.
Which is better, 1 or 2?
They take the time to fully understand the scope of the issue and make it crystal clear that you will be able to view your documents at a level that you should expect.
Now which is better? That's the one right there.
Don't settle for less when it comes to your company's image. Call today for a well-defined analysis of your current picture.
Let's talk about a checking account that fits you. With smart technology that puts security and control at your fingertips. Let's power it all with people who care. Let's get started, online or at your local First National Bank branch.
2020 is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, and it's also the 5-year anniversary of Laudato Si, the Pope's letter about caring for the environment, what he calls our common home. It's a topic even the youngest of Catholic school students love to learn about.
Do you guys know what Earth Day is? Yeah. You don't know what Earth Day is?
I know
May. No, not birthday.
Sit down.
Earth Day. Do you know what Earth is?
No.
Ryan?
God's world.
He created it.
Way back in the Bible at the beginning, when God made the world and called it good, and then handed it over to human beings to take care of. This world is God's gift to us that we have to hand on to the next generation as a gift to them.
So do you guys take care of the environment?
Yes, we do.
And what is the environment?
It's where you live. It's the plants, it's the animals, it's everything that lives in your community or area that you live in.
We hear a lot today about care of the environment. As Christians, we recognize that stewardship of the environment is rooted in our Judeo-Christian culture. The Holy Father's encyclical, Laudato Si, reminds us that we have a very important moral responsibility to the treasures of the world and the environment. And so, as we are reflecting on the 5th anniversary of Laudato Si here in the Diocese of Greensburg, we're making a special outreach to our children and allowing this time and this anniversary to be a means in which they themselves can reflect at a very young age and be formed in good stewardship of the environment.
Do you take care of it?
Yeah.
What do you do to take care of it?
So whenever we were at the beach, we went over to the beach part, then we took like some tools and we cleaned up garbage over there.
Oh, really? Why did you guys do it?
I just thought of it maybe like to help the earth, so.
So what do you like about nature?
Animals.
Animals? What's your favorite animal?
Probably unicorn.
A unicorn?
Yeah.
We have to protect our unicorns, right? What about you?
Dog.
A dog? Do you have a unicorn?
No.
To be energy smart in 2020, the Diocese of Greensburg is encouraging students to first harness their own energy to do God's good work.
We made windmills out of cardstock, a pencil, string, and tape, and our goal was to lift pennies in a cup up by using the air.
How do you think that helps? Like little science projects like that?
It's always the little thing that turns out to be big.
Being energy smart also means taking the time to power down. Do you guys have cell phones?
No. Well, I have my dad's old one.
You have a cell phone? Do your parents have cell phones?
Yes. Of course.
And do they ever turn the cell phones off?
Well, my mom is like on it all night.
It's very hard to focus on God, who comes to us so often in the silence. The Lord designed us to sleep so we can shut down. But during the day too, we have to shut down and just think about more important things like, what does God want me to do today?
So do you have a cell phone?
Yes.
Do you have a cell phone?
Yes.
When you go home, do you power down?
Yeah, I don't really use this. I take it off.
Do you turn it off at the dinner table? Do you take time to like just be in the silence?
Yeah.
My dad wants me to engage in conversation whenever we're at the table, so we turn off all of our devices.
I'm not allowed to use devices at the table.
Powering down is an important part of being energy smart, but so is cleaning up.
Do you know what littering is, Brian?
They throw garbage in the grass.
Mm-hmm. And what can we do to help that?
We can throw it away!
Recycling, clean up the oceans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All the animals are dying because of all the trash in the ocean.
We want to see how other young people in the Diocese of Greensburg are being energy smart in 2020. Enter the video, poster, or essay contest now. The winners will be featured on this show in the fall. Visit theaxononline.org for details. I'm Jordan Wyko.
I'm Robin Mall. I'm at the Church of St. Anne in Rostraver with an Easter cheese ravioli recipe. I'm here with Homer Zacconi, president of the Holy Name Society. Hi, Homer.
Hi, hello.
This is actually a big fundraiser for the local charities, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
We've been doing this for about 8 or 9 years. Over the last 5 years, we've given away over $62,000 to various major local charitable organizations, Catholic Charities, our local food bank, and regional St. Sebastian Regional School.
Wow, that's amazing. I know they're very appreciative of everything that you do
Right,
for them.
and also every now and then it comes to our attention of a needy family or something like that, and we take care of them anonymously.
Oh, wow.
So,
very special.
Yes, it is.
How many raviolis do you make each year?
It's amazing. We'll make almost 20,000 raviolis in a year. Today alone, we're going to make over 2,000 raviolis.
During Lent, you sell cheese ravioli.
That's correct.
Can you tell us what's inside of the ravioli?
Yes, we have 4 kinds of cheese: mozzarella, Parmesan, Romano, Regatta, with a little egg, salt, pepper, and parsley.
What do you do with all those ravioli?
We have a tremendous following. We'll have between 450 and 500 sit-down dinners and an equal amount of takeouts, 450 to 500. So in 4 hours, we will have served 1,000 dinners.
Wow, that is incredible. So today we're here with a lot of volunteers. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Last year we asked the Christian mothers to join us, and it's a great effort for connection with both organizations. They also are a tremendous help at our dinners itself, okay? Without them, we couldn't do it.
That's wonderful to have them as
Right.
support staff.
Absolutely.
So you're gonna make 40,000 ravioli.
Possibly with the advertisement we're getting from your Catholic Accent program. We'll see.
If people want these ravioli, can they just check your website?
Yes, and then they can call the church office for availability and can come down and purchase their raviolis and sauce.
What would Jesus think about this kind of service?
All of this goes to help the people in the community. So it's one of those things, you know, it's that idea of love, and love is manifested in so many different ways.
Now we get a chance to try the
Yeah.
ravioli, and
Yeah.
I'm really excited for
Go
that.
ahead, you go first.
You go first. Right. Oh my goodness.
Very good.
It's very good. That filling is delicious.
It is. Excellent. We feed them spiritually, we feed them physically.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Father Dave. And
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you to the Holy Name Society and Christian Mothers for taking care of the community
Exactly.
in Rostraver.
Thank you very much. And we enjoy doing it.
It's great.
Thank you.
And we enjoy eating them.
I'm Jerry Zufeld. Coming up next, the Accent on Air goes inside our Catholic schools to introduce you to the teachers who are taking learning to a higher level.
Then Mary Siemens goes on assignment to the March for Life with hundreds of young parishioners who will join hundreds of thousands more in Washington, D.C.
Even right now, I'm a senior graduating in college, like out of St. Vincent. I want to do my 4 years here again. That's how much I love this place.
I've had so many experiences and I've met so many wonderful people here, and I'm just so thankful that they've helped me grow into who I am now.
St. Vincent's just a place where if you're here, you're just magnetized toward positivity and openness and kindness to people. It's just what happens, and that's why, that's what a home is. So that's why St. Vincent's my home.
Register now for the Diocese of Greensburg's annual men's conference, The Whale. Hear his voice, answer the call. The Well is designed to bring men closer to Christ and to feed uplifting encouragement in their faith. Join us on Saturday, March 21st at Westmoreland County Community College for the workshops and Mass celebrated by Bishop Malesic. Register online at dioceseofgreensburg.org/thewell or call 724-552-1812.
Do you want to improve your health naturally? Align Chiropractic Wellness Center is the place for you. Chiropractic care is more than just making the pain disappear. It's about learning, understanding, and taking care of your body to improve your quality of life. Do you feel tired, have trouble losing weight, have aches and pains, or just don't feel as good as you'd like to? Improve your health with a customized nutrition program or a safe and effective weight loss plan. Call us today and make the first step in your path to wellness.
Many schools in the Diocese of Greensburg, like Mother of Sorrows here in Murraysville, offer advanced enrichment opportunities for students. That's because so many teachers have advanced degrees. Here's Jerry Zufeld with how students are reaping the benefits.
I have a master's degree in instructional design with technologies enhanced learning from Seton Hill, and I have a second master's degree in reading education from Edinburgh University.
How do those degrees help you as a teacher?
I learned a lot in both of my fields about technology with my first master's degree, and I was able to use some of that to help me learn more about educational technology in the classroom. And then in reading, which is a passion of mine, I was able to take that and use it to learn about new strategies that I could apply to my classroom and help my students.
The doctorate in instructional management and leadership has helped so many ways. I've learned so many different pedagogies to work with students at all levels of learning and emotional spectrums. I feel like I'm equipped to meet them when they come to me with any challenge. I absolutely fell in love with the warmth that I feel here. The faculty is amazing, and the children are they're genuine and caring and wonderful individuals. I care about them so much.
I have a doctorate of education in educational leadership. Obtaining a doctorate is not an easy task. There were many challenges I faced along the way. I believe that helped me become a better teacher. I found in my research that students prefer immediacy behaviors, and these behaviors can be as simple as grading a test the next day or the day that it's turned in. The students feel more cared for and more important when a teacher practices immediacy behaviors.
My first master's degree is as a Master of Arts in Liberal Arts, and then my second master's is in education.
What classes do you teach here at Mother of Sorrows, and how do you apply that master's? Because you're primarily a gym teacher.
I'm the gym
so
teacher, yes.
How do you apply those?
It's interesting because in other classes, like if you get a question on a test wrong, the whole class doesn't know it. But in gym class, if you strike out or make an out, everybody sees it. So you have to create sort of a safe environment for the kids to feel free to experience.
One of the basic and most primary responsibility a teacher has is to master the subject, the discipline, have a firm grasp of it. In order to fulfill that requirement, I studied as much as possible. I wanted to learn as much as possible so that I could best serve the needs of the students. I have a PhD in English from Duquesne University. The most important aspect of a Catholic education for me is the integration of faith. It points to and illuminates a greater meaning and purpose in life.
I'm Mary Siemens, and I went on assignment to the March for Life. For 47 years, since the legalization of abortion in America, people have been coming to Washington, D.C. from all over the country to stand for life. I traveled with the youth from the Diocese of Greensburg. We drove to D.C. the night before the march to attend an evening of prayer on the campus of George Mason University. Here, 8,000 students participated in the Life is Very Good event, which included inspirational music and speakers. The evening concluded with the exposition of the Blessed Sacrament. In the morning, we returned to the campus of George Mason for a rally and a Mass celebrated by many priests and bishops, including Bishop Malesic and Father Lawrence Manches. The march officially began down Constitution Avenue and continued all the way to the Supreme Court. we joined tens of thousands of high school and college students at the march. I asked the participants why they came to the march and why it is important.
I am here because every life is important and life is very good. To be a voice for the voiceless. That's what I was going to say.
So I think the march is really important for every Catholic to identify in their lives that we were given a life and our life is for Christ.
Well, I come because I represent the people of the Diocese of Greensburg, and we represent a very pro-life church which respects life from conception to death.
I'm here because it's important for young people to get involved because we are the future of this country. You know, there's a small group of us that believe in this, but coming here you see how many people, are behind this too. And it's a beautiful thing.
I'm here because this is a topic that I feel really strongly about, and I think more teenagers need to be educated about it.
Young people get it. They understand that life is fragile, that we need to protect it, and they're so excited to be here, to be together, to support this pro-life cause.
It's amazing to me every year how many teenagers are here and how vocal they are about how important this fight for right to life really is. It's encouraging. It makes me hopeful to have them standing up for what they believe in, and it brings me such great joy to walk alongside them.
I'm Mary Siemens on assignment at the March for Life.
To watch this show and read more about faith and food, visit theaccentonline.org. Thanks for watching.
If you end up in a courtroom like this, most likely you have a serious legal problem.
Whether it be for an accident, an injury claim, or a criminal charge such as DUI, you better have a great trial lawyer on your side. Ron McCoskey has been a trial lawyer for over 40 years. Along with his son, Matthew, they provide a 1-2 punch for their clients.
If you've been injured or charged with a criminal offense, call us because we can help.
Call McCoskey and Associates. You need them on your side.
My great-great-grandparents started Rizzo's 84 years ago, and we're still here today. Same business, same family, same location. We have our lines of sauce and pasta in the stores. We have a banquet facility. We have a line of chocolates. The business really has expanded, but consistent is the tradition and the quality. We're about tradition here at Rizzo's, and we invite you to come start a tradition yourself.
In Pennsylvania, there are 14,000 children who have been removed from unsafe situations. While we hope that number stops you in your tracks, we also want to remind you these children are more than a number. There are 14,000 names, stories, fears, hopes, and dreams. They are kids who deserve to know they belong, and the community is here to support them by becoming foster parents. Adelphi Foster Care and Adoption Services is asking for your help to say, I can make a difference. Call us today at 1-800-KID-5928 to learn how.